Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Michael. Today I'm going to walk you through my song I'll Soon Forget, which was inspired by The Last of Us, so I'll explain that a little bit later, but let's play the song, and I'll explain everything that I can about it. Cool, so that's the song. As I said, it was inspired by The Last of Us, so I was watching a lot of that when that came out. And there's a lot of kind of like sad guitars, a lot of woe is me, the whole world is very bleak. So I started playing my guitar. I was using STL guitar amps. Found one that had a lot of delay. Was just playing. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Maybe I'll make this into a song. So here's the guitars. I have them panned one left and one right. Here's the sound. So nothing crazy to it here. I've got a filter on it just to make it a little less kind of pointy is the word I want to describe. It's not as kind of in your face. I've got a bunch of reverb on it. That plays for about most of the song. It comes in and out, but I'll come back to the guitars later. But basically, along with that is the pads. So let's hear the pads now just on their own. It's pretty simple, just following the root notes of the guitar. They're both from Photosynthesis, and they've got a bunch of reverb on them as well. So what else do we have going on? Other than that, we have some other instrument groups that I can get to, so let me break them all down. So that was the guitar, that was the pads, we've got bass, we've got short strings, we've got long strings, we've got percussion, we've got French horns, We've got FX at the bottom, which are kind of like just trailer sounds like whooshits and booms and risers. That's basically it. It's not like a super huge track, but there's there's a lot going on here. So we've kind of talked about the intro here. Let's skip over here to the second section here, where the long strings come in. And my goal with the long strings, a lot of them are from CSS strings or from Jaeger. So I wanted the strings to sound kind of like what I was talking about with the guitar, sad, kind of a sense of melancholy to them. But they kind of have like this meanness to them in the double bass. So let's listen to those. I really think it's a CSS bass that makes that kind of aggressiveness. So that's kind of like what I described here. You can see at the top, I've got Act 3, 2, and 1. That's what I described. In my mind, was the end of Act 1. So now Act 2 is starting. This is where the short strings are coming in. This is where the bass is coming in. This is where the percussion is coming in, and the FX are kind of changing slightly just to make it a little bit different and not repetitive. So here we go. Okay, so the pads are just doing the same thing. The guitar are doing the same thing. The bass is like a bass guitar. I didn't actually play it in. The guitar I actually played in, but here it is. Just playing the notes. Right, nothing crazy. You can see the strings have changed slightly. They're repeating the same notes, but I've added in a new section. It's like the full orchestra that are just kind of playing all the notes that are broken up into here, right in here. So let's hear it on its own. So you can see there's some sound in the higher registers now, so that it's evolving over time. I wanted the strings to sound fairly emotive, in that they're coming in and they're coming out, just to give it that fun vibe. So it's definitely not a fun vibe, but it's fun for me to write them like that. So the short strings are. So we got the double bass, we got the cellos. And then right here, you'll see this. I actually thought this was kind of cool. But this is like a string. This part right here is the guitar. Later we'll play this exact, well, not exactly, but very similar line on the guitar. And I brought it back from the guitar over here to the strings to kind of like tease it a little bit along. You can see our French horns are coming in, which are kind of teasing a lot of the melodies that are coming later in the song. This is from Cinebrass. So as you can see here, it's kind of like what was going on with the strings. We've got one French horn, then we've got multiple French horns, then we've got a bunch of French horns playing in different octaves. Then we got just 4 of them. That's obviously not how you would do it for maybe like a movie or something like that, but this is trailer music, baby. We can do whatever we want. So the French horns are playing. Let's just hear the percussion before we move on to the next section. So pretty basic. Most, if not all of them, for most of the track are playing through damage. And then I've got some ferrum at the bottom here just to kind of give it that that epic trailer sound that comes in later. So let's go to the next section here. It's actually funny. This is one of the first sounds I had from the song, because I basically was going to write this as just kind of like a rock song. Then I was like, no, I'm going to make this into a trailer song as well. So all this is the original kind of like guitar sound played backwards with a bunch of reverb on it, and it worked really well as a transition. Okay, so now things are really starting to ramp up. We can see we added a violin at the top. Let's just hear that. Along with, now we've got our kind of low brass coming in. And I would say that our French horn is still kind of following along. Well, I guess technically the trombones and whatnot are following along with the French horns are doing, but the French horn doesn't really stand out at this point. It's just kind of in the background, dormant almost, just waiting to come out later in the song. The percussion has picked up, definitely. It's gotten more intricate. So you can hear now Ferrum has come in, and it gives it that kind of like high smacking sound. And if we combine that with our FX at the bottom, so just kind of emphasizing a lot of the important hits that the percussion are doing. So let's go over here, and I mentioned that strings here, this little line here. That still happens again, but this time the guitar is coming in kind of like a slide up on the electric guitar. Listen for it here. I just thought that was kind of cool. So now we've hit right before Act 3. So how do we break up this section? I've got, I think, 2 sets of booms that just go boom, boom, but the guitar changes up finally. So let's just listen to that right here. Okay, so as you can hear here. So the guitar is kind of alluding to what it'll do next, which is it changes. So we've got the guitar. There was something else that I wanted to talk about. Oh, the bass is no longer just a bass guitar. It is Devastator pads here. I just thought it was gave it a little bit of pace. So let's listen to the guitars now that they've changed slightly. So it's basically playing the new line that we'll play for the rest of the song. Let's take a look at everything together again. Sorry, I wanted to mention these. These are just power chords. Okay, before we get to the last couple sections here, we've got our trombones are playing. Originally, they were just playing one note each. Now they're playing in multiple octaves. We've got the percussion is picked up. But one thing that I really noticed is there's a lot of taiko kind of rolls that I added in. So let's just listen to the trombones. Sure. Brass. And then if we add the strings in, it repeats another time. And the short strings, let's see the short strings. Now they actually kind of got a little more basic. You can see here, I believe it's the cellos are kind of playing these they're playing the root notes of the chord, so on their own. I originally had these guys going faster, which you'll see later. You can see like how many notes there are here. But then I was like, oh, it's too fast over here, so I slowed it down so that it's kind of like a build up, and then everything goes crazy for that last section. So let's listen here. So I mentioned that the FX are kind of changing. We got some Taiko rolls. Okay, so now we're bringing it home. Here's the last section. Okay, so what's going on? We've got the guitars. Basically, everything's going as crazy as possible. So obviously that's pretty similar to what we've had in the past, but that electric guitar, which I think is this one, is playing. Nope, I got it wrong. Maybe it was... It's one of those guitars. It's in there. It sounds pretty cool to me. Along with the power chords and the original melody. Then the short strings. This is where the arc strings come in. It's the high patch. They sound really cool to me, so let's listen to that as well. We also added a arc high strings, but for long strings. So let's listen to those together along with the French horns. Okay, cool. And lastly, we'll take a look at the percussion. As you can see, it's just kind of gotten thicker and thicker as time goes on. I got to the end of the song, and basically, it's funny. Usually the percussion will be the thing that's kind of blocking everything out, and you can't hear the other instruments. But I found that my percussion was actually pretty thin, so that's when I kind of started adding more percussion, and I added this kind of ferrum line here that plays. So let's listen to that. So, obviously, I'm trying to go for a big ending there. You can hear the riser coming up. You can hear the ferrum kind of bringing home. It's like tap, 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 tap. That really, I think, brought it together for me. But basically, what I did was I found that I couldn't figure out how to end the short strings. But basically what I did, and this is something that you can think about when you're writing your songs, I took basically the ending for the percussion and just applied it to the short strings. So I'll explain what I mean here. I know it seems simple, but I just couldn't figure out that last bar because I had a couple different things going on, and I was like, this is too fancy. This doesn't sound right. It's not working with the other instruments. But here, so I'll add the percussion so you can hear it together. So I basically wanted it to make it sound like they were like together, and you can really hear it at that last bar. So. And it worked, or it sounded like it worked to me anyways. So let's just get to the, I think that's most of it. A lot of the hits here and the FX are just really trying to emphasize what's going on in the percussion. And then I played with this idea at the end here. I was like, when does the guitar come back? Is there another break? Is there the pads? But basically, right when the song gets to the end, like everything gets to its highest point, I bring the guitars in immediately. And I re-recorded these with slight changes. I don't even notice if you noticed. Actually, first of all, right here, there's a new guitar line that plays. Where is it? I lost it in my own track. That's okay. You can hear it's like this guitar bend that goes. Listen for that. Let's see if we can find it. So if you can hear it, it kind of creates this echo that starts right here on the 85th bar. I don't know where it is. I've lost it. Don't know if I'll ever find it. It's okay. So let's play the last part here. I don't know if you heard it. There's a little bend there in the strings just to change it slightly. Let's just see if I can play it. Do. Thought that was fun. So you can hear it at the end. We got a really short suck back, like the, and then a boom just to end it, just to give it a little flair, little cinematic. Here's the sound I was looking for that I had stored away. It's one little guitar sound. So let's listen here, along with this part. It creates that kind of pad, right? Anyways, that's the song. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. I will do my best to answer them. I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye now.